representing Race Course Ward and Chair to the Committee of Housing and Urban Development. And we are going to start this session by introduction. And I want to give my co-chair to introduce himself, and then we shall go to the rest of the honorable members and secretariat, and then our guest.
Thank you, my co-chair, honorable members present, and our visitor. I am Honorable Isaac Samoe, MCA Kapsas Ward, standing in for Chair Lands Fiscal Planning. We want to say welcome. Feel free, don't tense, and we'll proceed together. Welcome.
Thank you, Sachin Atam. Give out mics.
Thank you, our session chairs. My name is Julia Sang, MCA Megun Ward, and my friend with the committee, the leader of majority.
My name is Francis Muyamongi, MCA Langas Ward, a member to both committees, and double up as leader of minority. Karibu.
I'm Honorable Patrick Mayo, MCA Mosbridge.
I'm Kimani Onjohi, MCA Rep.
Good afternoon. My name is Gilbert Chepkonga, MCA in Kolare Ward, and a member to Lands Committee.
My name is Honorable Cherono Caroline. I'm a friend to this committee.
My name is Honorable Isaac Churchill, Vice Chair to the Committee of Urban Planning and Development.
My name is Honorable Benjamin Atoi.
Thank you so much. Pass it to the...
Sorry, my name is Mary Goretti, MCA Kipsomba Ward, a friend to this committee.
Thank you so much. Secretariat.
I'm David Sum, Public Relations Officer.
I'm Jacqueline Chepkeme, Hansard Department.
Toro is Kimtai Research from Research Department.
Naomi Seren, Committee Clerk, Lands and Fiscal Planning.
My name is Michelle Saina, I'm Legal Counsel.
I'm Kelvin Mibanda, Committee Clerk, Housing and Urban Development.
Thomas Albe, Sachinata.
Thank you so much. Take mic to our guest of today.
Okay. My name is Veronica Muse. I'm North Rift Coordinator with the National Physical Planning Department, Minister of Lands and Physical Planning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Veronica, who is a North Rift Regional Coordinator, National Physical Planning Department, State Department for Lands and Physical Planning. Madam Veronica, you are here this afternoon pursuant to invitation that was sent to yourselves on a letter dated 13 September 2023, addressed to you, and it is invitation to the committee. And as a reminder, it says the above subject matter refers following complaints from members of the public regarding construction of a building on a claimed road reserve. The Joint Committee on Lands and Physical Planning and Housing and Urban Development requests you to attend its committee meeting on 27, which is today, at 10 a.m. We apologize for not having you on time. It's because of the other engagements to appear in this county assembly where you are. The committee would like to be furnished with information relating to 1A, physical planning of a road reserve on Block 6 within the following plots numbers: plot number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. B, what happens when separate plots kindly, Honorable Muya, let me conclude and then I will give you the mic. Okay, the department concerned, kindly do your part. You have it now. You have passed it to the members of the public. Thank you. What happened? Number B, it says, what happens when separate plots served by a common road are amalgamated or subdivided? Number C, importance of service lanes within Block 6 as per the letter. Any other information relating to developments within the parcel above. And this was signed by our clerk, and so you are here this afternoon, and I want to believe you got that letter, that's why you are here. And since you are going to give a very crucial information to this joint committee, it is a requirement that the information that you are going to give this committee will be able to assist the committee to make a decision. And then again, the information you are giving, we want to believe it is the truth and nothing less by that. And therefore, before we proceed on, you will be giving information under oath. So at this juncture, I want to request Michelle, who is our legal officer, to administer oath to you so that we proceed from there. Michelle.
I, Veronica Ndunge Muse, swear before God and the evidence I shall give, that the evidence that I shall give before this joint committee touching on the matters in question shall be the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you so much. Now, our regional coordinator, we are beginning our session, and honorable members and members of the Secretariat, I want to remind you again that before us we have Madam Veronica, who is a North Rift Regional Coordinator, National Physical Planning Department, State Department of Lands and Physical Planning. Kindly, briefly, tell us what is your role, and then you proceed on to the issues that were placed before you in the letter, so that we are all in the same page, understanding your role as a coordinator in physical planning, and then you proceed on to respond to our letter. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. As a coordinator to the North Rift region with the Department of National Physical Planning, my mandate is on matters to implementation of the physical planning regulations, standards, and manuals that are prepared by the ministry. We also prepare the National Physical Planning Development Plans, and we also give capacity building and support to the county governments on matters physical and land use planning. So on the matter before this committee,
and I want to request that relax, don't tense. I think we are doing it in a friendly way, so just be relaxed and then give us your presentation.
In reference to the letter that you quoted, I wish to respond as follows. the Eldoret Town Development Plan for 1970. That is a plan number, the plan number 17/70/1. That plan number 17/70/1 of 27th October 1970 with approval number 80. I have a copy of that plan with me here, and this plan, it provided for a road, a service lane of approximately 8 meters wide, which was serving plot numbers 13, 4, 5, and 6 within block number 6 of Eldoret Town. So I can submit the plan.
Kindly, Secretariat. And you'll allow members that, since it's a very wide document, we don't have capacity to reproduce maps, so you will trust the chairs. Yeah, so the Tautin Domas should heighten their faith. Proceed.
So in that, you will see that road of access, which is a service lane. And it is important to know that every commercial plot must have a service lane at the back, since the plot coverage for commercial plots is usually 95% when we are developing. So these service lanes usually play a crucial role in facilitating placement of infrastructural utilities within that area or the neighborhood. These would include water lines, power lines, the sewer, telecommunication lines, including fiber optic cables.
Order, Honorable Muya. I wish you could be patient. You see, we need first to determine whether we can admit this one or not. Okay, so will you allow my co-chair to scrutinize as I take charge to the... Thank you so much. Remember, Honorable Muya, we are two co-chairs. He's scrutinizing and I'm listening to our presentation. So kindly proceed.
Maybe, Chair, maybe you allow her to wait for you to confirm that and then admit it, and then you allow her to continue.
So I want to confirm we've seen and it is admissible before this committee. Proceed, Madam.
So I continue. As per the letter, you had asked us to provide information about the... Yeah, I was starting that. I'll say that you requested for information on how important a service lane is to that block number 6. And I was saying that according to planning standards, every commercial plot must have a service lane at the back. And the importance of this service lane is because commercial plots, when we are developing, you develop up to 95%. So there's that lane that is supposed to serve purposes, as opposed to residential plots where you can develop up to 50% of the land. So we usually provide for service lane at the rear to provide or facilitate supply of infrastructural utilities within that neighborhood. These would include the water lines, the power lines, sewer, telecommunication lines, including the fiber optic cables. The same service lane would serve as loading and offloading points for goods within the commercial plots to decongest the frontage of the commercial areas. So that's where you'll see the lorries have to load and offload goods to those plots. It also supports emergency services in case of fire for response and escape routes. And again, when it comes to sanitation, that's where we can do the solid waste collection points within the commercial premises. So that's how important the service lanes are for commercial establishments. You also wanted to know about amalgamation or subdivision of land that is traversed by a road of access. And for this case, it is possible to amalgamate two portions of land that are traversed by a road, given that the road of access is not interfered with. What can happen in this case, maybe you can reroute the road. You can reroute the road with the same acreages to serve the same purpose, not to interfere with the purpose that it was planned for. So there is that leeway, but it has to be done in a participatory manner, whereby the neighbors or the stakeholders in that area are involved. So it's a procedure that can be done, but the road cannot disappear. It has to remain to serve the purpose that it was planned for. Yeah, I think.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to take you back again. That you are saying amalgamation can or is allowed. Yes. But on specific conditions. Can you come up again on what are the conditions that may necessitate amalgamation?
Yes, I may be having a plot, a land, or even I buy a separate portion of land across a road. And for ease of management of your land, you will want to have one parcel, maybe for the purposes of payment of land rates or rent, or for development, whereby you want to come up with a construction that you want continuity within that parcel. So we allow amalgamation, yes, for proper land management. But the road, we can reroute it to serve the same purpose, not to swallow the road of access, because it's a public land and it was placed for a purpose for that. Getting the road is like allocation of that.
Chair, through Chair, the simplest question is, can you amalgamate a public land for you to own and that parcel disappears completely from public?
No, you cannot.
Now, if
Chair, in line with what Honorable Tamo said, is it possible for you to bring your two pieces of land together and remove that road which separated you with the other piece of land to another place?
Yes, that's what I was saying, the rerouting. You can reroute, but with the same measurements and to serve the same purpose. In the cases where that cannot happen, then it is also restricted to ensure that the purpose the road was planned for is still maintained.
Thank you. Another question. You've said it correctly, that for the case before us, in the initial maps, it shows there was a service lane. And as per the final FR, that one has disappeared. And there is no proof that they gave an alternative. Honorable members, I think we had another
point of information, Chair.
Kindly.
Allow me to inform the House, the committee, that in plan number 17/70/1 of 27th October 1970, that is the official plan of Block 6 of Eldoret Town. And in that plan, there is that access road. And that is the authentic plan of Eldoret Town, right?
Yes.
And that's why I was saying, whatever our chair was trying to allude, there is another map. I have not heard that from the planner. So kindly let us not put words into her mouth. Whatever she has provided is 1970 map, which is the authentic about to her.
Okay.
And I think we can, Honorable Chair, we are in possession of another map and need to be provided to you to authenticate the sanctity of that map, which is before this house.
I think, honorable members,
and before this committee.
in the morning, we were given this. Should I not rely on
that,
this?
That is what they are saying, Chair. It is,
I don't know.
It is the planner. The others, the other members who came here gave us this. It is now for us, the committee, to give to the planner that map so that we differentiate which one is authentic, which one is generic.
Thank you, honorable members. I don't know whether we need to limit ourselves with questions or because I am a bit afraid, because I thought while interrogating, we also refer with what we are served.
Honorable Chair.
I want us to make a decision on that. If we don't have to rely on anything that we were served before us before, then I want to seek your indulgence.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Rebecca and then Muya.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think in our housekeeping, we did agree that we get all what we want from them first, and then we react on it. I want you as a chair, please, with a lot of humility, to stand by your words that you gave us before we started the meeting.
Honorable Chair.
I think it is clear. Honorable Muya?
Yes, and that, I want just to affirm that yes, you have other information, but it has not come through her. Therefore, we only deal with what she has given. And then when we reach a 10, now you can now go there. We are in a possession. Can you kindly look at it? But now you're asking a question which maybe she does not have that map.
Let's wait and see. Honorable Jepkonga.
Thank you. I want to concur with Honorable Muya that perhaps, Honorable Chair, we ask the gracious lady to supply us with any other information she feels that it is good for this committee to consume. So that, Honorable Chair, she may say, or she might say that there was amendments later, and that we now have this as the official planning, physical planning map as at now. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, Bishop, then we give some direction.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe because she has come with the map of 1970, she should just tell us whether there are other maps after this. If they are not, then we provide this to her to authenticate also and see. If we are remaining only with the 1970 map without any other, she will tell us because she's in that docket.
Yeah, what is there, honorable members, is first, we wanted to get the information then that in the year 1970, it was away leave. That's the point we wanted. Now, between 1970 and 2001, what transpired? You see? So allow us to give her to continue if she has any other further submission, and then finally we'll give you for more interrogation. Are we in order? Proceed.
Okay. I wish to state that the only approved development plan for Eldoret Town is the one that I've submitted. Any other changes that might have occurred in relation to that, we are not aware of that. If it could have been done, it could have been done through a PDP. A PDP is what can be used for alteration of a development plan. And in our records, we don't have a PDP for that specific area, making alterations to it.
Are you done with all your submission before we ask for honorable members to ask some question?
Yes.
Kindly, eh?
Yeah.
You are done?
Yes.
So, in other words, you are saying the only plan you recognize as the office is the one dated 1970?
Yes.
Any other, you don't know?
No.
Hi. Let us open the floor for the members. So,
Chair.
Let me start with Honorable Bishop.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Maybe now she has confirmed that we don't have any other. You might now, maybe I request you show her the maps we have, the two of them, so that she sees through as we prepare our questions.
No, to her, she has said they only know the one for the year 1970. Any other is a story to them.
Yeah, that is okay.
Yes.
But I wanted her just to avast herself with
Can you be able to
with what
respond to
we
that,
have.
surely?
No,
Because-
just to look at it. She goes through it.
But, you know, she is under oath. She's standing under oath. And she cannot refer to any other document. Honorable Ngetich, and then we go in that order. Leader of Majority, I've seen you.
All right, Chair. Thank you, Chairman, for this opportunity. I think she has said it all. She's done. Maybe for the sake of information, Chair. For the sake of information, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Can she take us through the process of developing a PDP, just in some 1 or 2 minutes?
Because it was
as
not
far
under what we...
No.
Okay, just for our own consumption.
Yes, for our own consumption.
I make notes. I will give you. I want to give to around 4 honorable members, and then you will. Do you have a pen and a paper to record such? Followed by honorable leader of majority, then minority, in that order.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is for the purposes of information.
She is writing. Proceed.
Yeah. So thank you. I wanted to know if where she got this map from. Did she have to go to Nairobi, or she has all these maps in her office, in the regional office here? A very straightforward question.
Thank you. Leader of minority.
Thank you. In her submission, Chair, Madam Veronica did state that amalgamation of plots is possible. When she'll be taking us through the coming up with a PDP, can she also tell us what takes place in the amalgamation of plots?
Parcels of land.
2, during development of a given plot, what does the law provide? I know the approvals are given by county government, but what are the available laws state? Is their office notified or brought to know what is happening, or do they have a role? And in Uasin Gishu County, are they ever being involved? And finally, can Madam Veronica tells us, because after we wrote her a letter over the Block 6, she must have opened her eyes and gotten to know what is happening there. Is she aware of anything going on in a road reserve, and have she acted on an advisory status? Thank you.
The last set of questions, and then I will go to another round. Honorable Tamoge, then she will be able to answer those.
To the Honorable Madam here, Irene, one of the roles of the physical planning department.
Not Irene, Veronica.
Irene.
Oh, Irene. Okay. Proceed.
Thank you. Sorry, Chair. Madam Veronica, to be specific, is that one of the major role of physical planner is monitoring all land-based development in the country and in the counties, that they conform to approved planning schemes, of which we have the 1970, the planning scheme, laws and regulations. What about the department? Things are coming up, and we hear there are many. And the physical planners, that is their role. What has happened? That's my question.
Let her respond to those questions first, then I will come to another set of questions. I've seen you, Honorable Natui, later on. Welcome.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I will start with the process for the PDP.
Correct. correct.
I would say that a PDP is a plan that is prepared for alienation of land for a specific use. And this is the plan that is used for allocation of land. If you want to be allocated, you have to go through a PDP process. The PDP is usually prepared by the physical planning department, and it has to go through a process whereby once it is prepared, it is usually circulated to the relevant departments for their comments. After the circulation, you still, as you prepare, you have to visit the site, you collect data, and have it documented in the plan. After circulation, you have to advertise this plan in local dailies. You advertise in 2 local dailies, English and Kiswahili, of wider circulation, and the Kenya Gazette for 60 days for public views and opinions. After the lapse of that period, now it has to go through approval, whereby it's certified by the National Director of Physical Planning.
Can you go slowly because members are making notes? Kindly, don't be in a hurry, madam.
Where are you?
We are in 60 days, Kenya Gazette.
Okay. After the 60 days, it goes through a certification by the National Director of Physical Planning to ensure that it is in conformity with the development plan. If there are any changes that are being made in that development plan through a PDP, then they have to be stated clearly why that land is changing use. It's like a change of use actually, or you want to formalize what had been prepared to issue a title. So after certification, the plan is usually approved by the Cabinet Secretary and issued with an approval number. That is the plan that is used to issue letters of allotment, and it is also used for survey. So a survey has to be done on a basis of an approved PDP. I come to the other question, source of the map for 1970. And I will say that in our regional office here, we have all the maps for the town and even all the PDPs that are approved. But we also have copies in Nairobi. So we have copies down here, and we also have others with the National Director of Physical Planning. What entails amalgamation, an application has to be done. This is a development application which is under the county governments. It is the county government that grants applications for amalgamations and subdivisions and building plans, those development applications. So a developer has to apply to the county government, to the county planning authority, who is the CECM in charge of lands and physical planning. So once it is applied there, it has to go through a process of checkings and also circulations and payment of the required fees before it is approved through their committee. They shall have a committee of approvals. So once it is approved, they are given with an approval form. They call it PLUPA. Now it's PLUPA DC 8 notification of approval to amalgamate or to subdivide a parcel of land. So that approval is what now the Director of Surveys can use to make changes to the survey plan and subsequent now issuance of individual titles to those parcels. Or one, if it was an amalgamation, not a subdivision. For approval of building plans, yes, this is a mandate of the county government. It is within them to control developments within their jurisdiction. So we undertake this with the law, that is the Physical and the Land Use Planning Act of 2019. And in these, once the county governments get these development applications, as I said, with amalgamations, they are also supposed to circulate for comments to the relevant departments. That is in line with Section 60 of the same law, requiring that they have to circulate. And with the comments they receive, then the CCM with the County Planning Authority can grant approvals with a reason, can refuse to grant approvals with a reason for that development application, and communicate to the applicant the decision of the county.
For clarity, she have stated that once they received the plan, they circulate. Ordinarily, they are supposed to circulate. And she has mentioned to the relevant department for the approval. Can she stop generalizing and mention who are these officers that they are supposed to circulate? And do they do that? Thank you.
Oh, the law has enumerated offices in that section 60. I don't know if I have to read.
And then section 60 of which act?
Physical and Land Use Planning Act 2019.
It is in our files. Can you be able to see that is page?
Of Physical Planning and Land Use Act.
Page 642.
Use Act. Section?
60.
60.
Section 60.
Yeah. Are you there, honorable members?
I think it is in each of our files. Proceed.
I read. Oh, it says that within 7 days of receiving an application for development permission, the County Executive Committee member shall give a copy of the application to the relevant authorities or agencies to review and comment, and the relevant authorities of agencies shall comment on all relevant matters, including land survey, roads and transport, agriculture and livestock, health, public works and utilities, environment and natural resources, urban development, national security in respect of land adjoining or within reasonable vicinity of safeguarding areas, and any other relevant authority. That would mean, before they do that, they visit the site, and so they are able to analyze and see which other body could be affected by that development or such. So they are able now to consult and get the comments from that.
Chair. Can it be true to section 60 that the existing structure in question was approved by the CCM member in this county government as per the law, Physical Planning Act 2019?
Come again.
Can I allude that the development in question, that is in block 460, on encroachment of road reserve, the approval for development therein was approved by the CCM member, having gone through all these statutory requirements of circulation?
Okay, I may not be able to answer that with certainty because...
as required by the law. Is it as per the law?
As per the law, it should be that office which is giving the approvals.
So, enough.
There was the other question of if I was aware of what was happening there and the action taken. I would say that in our day-to-day activities of visiting the sites and even executing our mandate as the National Physical Planning Office, yes, we came across that development which was taking place. And out of that, we were able to give an advisory to the county government over the same. And so we did that. We issued an advisory that was on 12th of September 2023. We did an advisory to the county executive committee member on the construction, asking for information if the building was approved, the suppliers with the building plans, and if it was not approved, they invoked the section of the law, section 57 and 72 of the same Physical and Land Use Planning Act to ensure compliance. So we did that advisory.
On that matter, a minute. After giving an advisory to the county government in written, true?
Yes.
What was the response?
We have not received a response up to
Since
date.
September up to now?
Yes.
Now, do you have that copy of the advisory?
Yes, I have it.
Can you be able to table it as part of the evidence in this house for our reference? Honorable Ngatich, what was the issue? Okay. My co-chair can be able to verify us. Thank you. We have received it.
Yeah.
Proceed. These are very crucial documents we wanted. Proceed.
So one member mentioned issues on monetary and oversight role, but I would say that constitutionally that is the function of the National Land Commission, who are supposed to oversee and monitor land use planning across the country.
Chair.
For us is standards.
What is the issue, Honorable Wakili Kimani
In
Wanjoi?
relation to that, what was the address that you wrote to? Because we have no liberty of seeing that document.
Yeah, I can answer because we have that document. There was an advisory by the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, Urban and Development, State Department of Lands, letter addressed to County Executive Committee member, Lands, Physical Planning, Housing and Urban Development, County Government of Wazingishu. So are you in order now?
That's in order.
I proceed.
So the monetary and oversight role on land use planning is for the National Land Commission, as we only develop the standards, the manuals, and the guidelines that the county governments can use to undertake the development control, so that the NLC can respond to that.
Okay.
NLC utilizes the tools that you are creating.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you done with the questions?
Yes.
Okay. Now let us go to the second round of questions. I am done with the, it was Honorable Natui, then Honorable Butuk, in that order. I've seen you before, Honorable Natui.
Basi kwanza natumai nataka nishukuru kwa kufika kwa Veronica na vile vile kwa ajili ya ambaye ameweza kutueleza. Langu tu ni ya kwamba kwa sababu hii labda ndio imekuwa ni mojawapo ya jambo ambaye imechupuka kuhusiana na maneno ya ardhi. Pia nilikuwa nataka tu nijue pia kwa sababu huenda tunafukuza shida moja na labda mingi. Pia nilikuwa nataka nijue pia ikiwa kama pia mbali na hii ambaye ametueleza, pia atueleze ikiwa kama kuna shamba zingine ambazo siko na shida kama hii ama ni peke yake.
Honorable Natui, order, please. The subject matter ni ya films. Wacha niongee kwa Kiswahili.
Basi natumai nimekubaliana na ya films, yes. Lakini pia kwa sababu pia yeye ni mtu ambaye tunamtegemea,
yes,
kwa kuchunguza vitu kama hii na kujua. Pia ni vizuri tujue kama county assembly apart from this,
yes,
kwa sababu hii si ya mwisho. Si bado pia tunahitaji kuendelesha shughuli kama hii.
Thank you. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted, Honorable. Honorable Butuk.
Honorable Chair, mine is I want to seek clarity. And I might be taking all of us back, but I want to get clarity. Because as this, as it is in the file, number 60, that within 7 days of receiving an application, the committee member shall give a copy of the application to the relevant authorities. One of the relevant authorities is where our lady, I forgot the name, Veronica comes from. Now, was it from their own that they wrote the advisory, or did the authority receive the application? Did the CEC, did you act on your own, or you got the application? Did the CEC give you that to comment?
Thank you. I believe she has noted. Final question. Then if there is no question, can you be able to answer those 2 or 3 questions raised?
Okay, the first question about other parcels of land that are under threat, I would say that that will require a separate audit to be able to determine if they are taking place on public or they are within the limits. That one I cannot be able to respond here. The other one for circulation, I would say that the building plan was not circulated to our office for comments, but the advisory came after we realized that the building was coming up.
No, normally when such development plans are being brought, is it a mandatory that it should pass through your office for the law or what? Because you say they never appear through your office.
Yeah, they never. If they are say relevant, I will not say it is a must, but relevant departments, if there is anything of concern, then they should be circulated to that, not only ours, but also others.
And maybe for the purpose of your office, have you ever received any development plan submitted to your office for comment from this county?
I would say that the ones we receive, and there's a separate regulation on project of national importance. Those ones are supposed to be approved by our department, like the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, that's a project of national importance. So we are supposed to receive as a ministry, then we circulate to the county for comments before we issue approvals. But for this matter which we are talking about from the county government, we have not been receiving those applications.
Okay, I want to sought clarity, Chair. There is a question she answered. I had asked about during amalgamation. And there is something that did not come out very clear. Yes, the intention is submitted to the relevant county government, but in our earlier hearing, it was said that the Office of Physical Planner ought to be involved, and another office. During this, in this case, because it seems that thing happened, was their office involved, or was there any advisory from their office that there is an intention of amalgamation of plots in block number 6, or they are not supposed to be involved during amalgamation? Can it come out very clear through the chair?
And then on the same note, in your earlier presentation, you said that when preparing alienation for land use, or that PDP, that application or that approval of amalgamation has to go through different departments, which I want to believe is the one which has been mentioned by Honorable Muya. Which are these relevant departments that you think, before you do an amalgamation, then you must seek comments from different departments? Are you in a position to cite the provision of the law, and also which are these other relevant departments, especially the area of amalgamation?
Okay, I will say that the law will not tell you this is the office expressively, but in the process of preparing this PDP or amalgamation plan, so to say, you'll be able to know who are these entities that are affected by the plan that you are preparing. Once you go to the site, you are supposed to map out the stakeholders that will be affected by the plan. And then from that mapping out, you're able now to circulate to them for comments. Then whoever else is not circulated the plan is able to give the views from the publications in the local dailies. So the law will not tell you it is the office, but you are supposed to do due diligence and get the mapping out of all the stakeholders that will be affected by the plan.
Thank you. I don't know, we are taking you back. We are so interested about this process of amalgamation. In this case that is before us, you must have done your due diligence as well, and also your homework to understand under what circumstances. That is also what we are trying to find out. Under what circumstances was this amalgamation approved? Because you said very well, one, it has to be participatory, you see, by different stakeholders.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order. I think you are putting on your own words by saying the amalgamation has been approved. To this effect, the office has said of physical planning, which are entitled in processing the spatial plans and doing due diligence on any development that's coming up. They have not given any okay for approval of such. So the matter of saying the process that was followed to approve, in the first place, there was no approval. It is an act in the seat that the CC member deemed to approve there, but the due diligence, circulation in the dailies, if we can find the dailies that site was put in the dailies, that this site has to be amalgamated. This road has to be changed from this line to that, and that road should not get lost. We should retain the road, even if it is rerouted, we should retain the size of that road and its usage to serve the purpose that was meant for. So the due process, the entire due process was not followed. Therefore, the term approval is just an approval by maybe bodies, but not through due diligence. So telling that the circumstances in which this was approved, there was no circumstances because the law was not followed.
So let me withdraw the word approval, or what happened at the ground.
Actually, as I said earlier, that kind of amalgamation would have been done through a PDP, Part Development Plan. And that PDP was never prepared. So we have not changed the plan, that of 1970, in our records. Still is the same, because there's no PDP.
Chair.
I think it's clear.
Chair. There was an issue that didn't come out very clearly as to how you found out the issue, thereby raising
raising an advisory to the land. There was a question that in your own, did you in your own motion get to know on what was happening, or did you receive a petition from a mwananchi, or there was a public outcry, or lastly there could have been that you have enforcement team that goes round and round? We are particularly interested in knowing how you found out about that issue before you gave an advisory.
Okay, Thank you. I would say that we don't have an enforcement team with us to enforce and check all those standards. And there was no petition which was raised by anybody to our office. But I say that it was on our day-to-day operations as an office that we came across that building, and it caught our attention at that particular time. So it was just from the office, no complaint had been raised by anybody.
So who are the officers?
Who are the officers if not enforcement?
Actually, the North Rift office, there are only 2 officers with us. We are not even many. We are only 2 of us.
Namely?
Myself and Tabitha.
Thank you.
Honorable members, another round of questions again.
Thank you. I stand guided and well advised, but I would like to sort some advisory over the same block 6. Yes, our chairs are in custody, have received the map of 1970, of which has plot number 1 to 10, if I'm right. What will she advise this committee, because we are not intending maybe to call her again, in case, leave alone the amalgamation, what about creation of other plots that were not in the map of 1970? What is her take? I think I'm clear.
Proceed to answer that question.
Okay. My advice would be we need to seek the guidance from the National Land Commission, who are the body custodians on public land, on the procedures on how we can go about that. It is within their mandate.
Any other question?
Yes, I stand guided that it is a mandate of National Land Commission, because they are the custodian of all public lands. And if National Land Commission appear here and denounce that they don't know about the creation of other plots, that one will be for our consumption. That is what she says.
Point of order.
Thank you.
You are again placing.
The member is anticipating.
Of course.
A debate. So you should raise
Okay,
that.
now, honorable members, we have to end this session because we still have another officer to engage. So I want to once again sincerely thank Madam Veronica for your coming and the information that you have shared with us. And now, before we conclude, what do you have to make your final remarks as we close?
Okay, I would wish to appreciate for your time and also the invitation, and we support to ensure integrity and professionalism in matters physical and land use planning in the whole country. And thank you for the chance for us to express ourselves. Thank you.
Now, before you wind up, do you have any other information you want to share or report or anything else that is going to be beneficial in these proceedings?
That's all I had.
You don't have any other report?
No.
Okay. So what are your prayers, if I may ask?
Fairness and due diligence.
My chair.
Now we have come to the end of this session, so we want to sincerely thank you, and if need be, we shall require you again. Thank you and have a good evening. So Sergeant Atam, you can usher her out.